So, what is deforestation and how does it affect not only us as human beings, but also the world that is around us and the insects and animals and plants that live around us and give us oxygen to live? What I am going to start first is explain what deforestation is. And basically, deforestation is the destruction or just removal of trees in any landscape in an area for the sole purpose of either building an urban area or farm, ranch, something of that sort. We see this happen a lot in America. Honestly, you have a lot of area that is unoccupied, that is abundant with life, trees, insects, just basically a huge group of diverse animals. Not even taking away, just destroying the home that they once thrived in means that they will never be able to thrive in that area again just because of the living conditions are not suitable for them to live properly and healthy. So the first problem with deforestation, as I just lightly talked about, was the biodiversity problem that it brings. The loss of biodiversity is basically if you had rabbits, deer, bears, anything of that sort that lived in an area, usually with deforestation, building homes in an area, we can use that as an example, will push animals out of that region. Birds is also a good example. Birds will also start to leave because food won't be there anymore. So the loss of life regarding animals is one of the big problems of biodiversity. So greenhouse gases that are being emitted or let off from deforestation. Deforestation is basically either leveling, just cutting the whole forest down, or burning it up. And the latter one causes CO2 to be released into the atmosphere. And that CO2 moving around in the atmosphere is basically a blanket or a blockage, not allowing excess heat that is in our troposphere to be released into the atmosphere. So that just gradually heats the earth, and as of right now, it is affecting our ice caps and glaciers, melting them at kind of an alarming rate, which is cause to think that the sea level will rise, and who knows what will happen from there. Thirdly, I would like to talk about the natural beauty being taken away from that area. Because as we know, biodiversity relies on the area around it, and if you take away what was there for plants and animals to live and thrive off of, that'll never be there again. So as we move into the future, the more that we start to tear down forest and turn forest land into urban land or farmland or even ranch land, it'll lose its sole purpose of feeding into the cycle of life. Depends on the biodiversity of an area, and in this case, a forest. And taking away that forest and destroying the ecosystem that is there will ultimately do harm to us as humans. Over time, the fish population in particular has declined from being 20 plus different species to being just 5 that you can normally find within, say, a lake, pond, even the ocean. Our best hope is to build forests while we destroy them in other places, or simply stop destroying forests. Life is very precious, and destroying an ecosystem can perhaps make an animal or species go extinct. Just recently, we heard of the last living white rhino passing away, and that just goes to show that deforestation can, in fact, change this world in a dramatic way. And with us being humans and needing food to survive, the lack of diversity in animals may, in return, affect future generations with what they are able to eat and how their living standards are. So hopefully, deforestation can take a different turn for the better and for the better of mankind.